Festival of the Arts took place over the weekend, and in my mind, it was a huge success in that one of the days was sunny.
Which is more than we can say for Springfest.
Yes, it's true. It's true. Were you able to attend any of the performances?
I actually was. I was in and around Shapiro Theater while the performance section was going on there, and it was actually really sad. I think the Festival of the Arts made a strategic miscalculation in deciding to put on Shakespeare at 12 o'clock in the afternoon on a Sunday. If college kids are up at 12 o'clock in the afternoon on a Sunday, and that's a very large if, they're not going to see A Midsummer's Night Dream. There were about 5 people in the audience. It was actually pretty sad. Because these two Shakespeare troupes, they're rep theaters and evidently pretty well known. So there were 2 companies, one Shakespeare Now and one the Shakespeare Rep Theater. And they both came in and they were really excited, and there were about 5 people in the audience. And it was very sad because they came in and put on, tried to put on a decent show, but there was no one there, and I didn't even stay for the whole time because, again, it's not Shakespeare time at 12 o'clock on Sunday.
Yeah, it's always sad, I think, when some of the performers sort of miscalculate, and they're just not, I don't know what it is about Festival of the Arts. It goes above and beyond, but it's not doable for students. It's just a very tough time of year and busy. I was actually able to go to Holy, which was happening just skip and a jump away from the Shapiro Theater on Chapel's Field.
And so it was a little rainy and it was a little cold, but evidently that didn't stop Holy.
Oh, not at all. So for those of you who don't know, Holy is a festival held in the Hindu religion, and it's a spring festival. So it's kind of celebrating, springtime and, new blooms and all of that fun growth.
So we could say that this was a fest within a fest.
Yeah, exactly. That theme is really working out here. But so the kind of premise of Holy is that it's kind of a way for families and friends to come together, and it's kind of a lot of mischief is what I see it as. So people spend the day throwing colored powder and water at each other. And so the meaning behind Holy is where families and friends can come together and kind of fill a day with mischief. And they come together and they spend the day throwing colored powder and water at each other. And it covers you with very, very hard to wash out color. And so it's kind of the meaning behind it is that the spring season, during which the weather changes, is believed to cause viral fever and cold. So the playful throwing of colored powders has a medicinal significance, and they actually use medicinal herbs, and the colors are actually made of flowers and natural plants. But on Sunday, we actually ended up using flour mixed with color, and so there was just a fog covering Chapel's Field. So I inhaled and got everything in my eyes and my nose, and even 3 to 4 days later, I'm still getting orange color out of my ear.
So do you feel the medicinal effects?
I
Are
do.
you cured now?
I think so. I think it's really prepared me for spring because I always have a little color on me. That orange is really nice tan. But the student group, Namaskar, it's the student club for Hindus, Jains, and Sikhs, organized the celebration on Chapel's Field. And students just came out wearing white T-shirts that were made for the event, good for getting dirty. And you run around and you just kind of smear color in friends' faces, strangers' faces. And they actually also provided a nice Indian lunch as well afterwards. So it was a very, very fun day. It was cold and a little rainy, but overall pretty fun for the fest within a fest.
That was the Shakespeare Company's miscalculation. There was no food.
Yes.
There was no food. Guaranteed at Brandeis, if there is free food, people come out.
Yeah.
Although I do think that kind of highlights what's good and bad about Festival of the Arts. If you leave it to the student groups and have fun stuff that's outside,
Yeah.
I feel like you get people to come out. And I worked at Festival of the Arts 2 years ago, 2006 festival. And it was a beautiful sunny day, and what they did was they had all the student groups out on the great lawn with most of the arts and crafts groups and the performance groups doing their thing all afternoon, and it was actually really cool.
Yeah.
I think that was definitely missing this year in that they put everything inside, in the theater, out of the way.
Yeah.
Why not give the student groups a chance to do their thing outside? And
Yeah, I feel like that's sort of what I noticed this year as well, that there was kind of a lack of student involvement, but not saying that, there was artwork up and there was, I know there was an a cappella fest, there was a lot of singing, but I think just the everyday student really, I don't think it was as accessible this year. And I really do hope that they kind of reach out and include the groups again, because I think just performance wise and just even audience wise, I think a lot of people want to be there, but the draw is not there. And I think food is helpful, but also just kind of the connection that, I was in that club, or I'm in that group, or I have a good friend in that group. I think that really helps kind of bring the Festival of the Arts, to the community who comes to attend, and then also to the community who's actually living on the campus.
However, evidently there was one indoor event at the festival that went quite well. There is a new spring exhibit at the Rose Art Museum here at Brandeis, and the curator gave a personal explanation as to why the exhibit came in and how it was formulated, and our very own Svetlana Kotlarenko was there.
On Saturday, April 12th, the Brandeis community got a rare opportunity to join curator Dominique Nahis for a tour of the new spring exhibit at the Rose Art Museum. Called Empires and Environments, the exhibit explores the psychological, cultural, and natural environments that lead to the building of empires. The combination of older works from Brandeis' permanent collection and the newer works adds an additional dimension to the exhibit. Nahis' poignant description of the works brought the exhibit to life. However, even without further explanation, the exhibit speaks for itself.
Empires and environments are meant only, as you may have guessed, as ideational triggers for you to say, okay, now what's this about? And one can only, I think, get into any real good show, ours or anyone else's, by trusting your subjectivity. Trust your subjectivity. You're getting what you need to get. You don't need someone to tell you. You don't need to read. You can get it. You get it. A good artwork always gets you. It always gives off more heat than it consumes, and you're always left wondering why. I never knew I wanted to see this. I never knew I needed to see this image. That's how a good artwork works, and that is hopefully the effect that you're getting as you're looking at all of these works interconnected with each other. Thank you very, very much. It's been a delight.
So go check out Empires and Environments, located in the Lois Foster wing of the Rose Art Museum.